Welcome to the Stone and Wood Update Show. What a big morning we have had here in Western Australia at the Margaret River Pro, moving over the box for the first time since 2019 and completing 6 heats in the round of 16 to set up some quarterfinal matchups, set up the back end of the season. Big congrats to Crosby Colapinto. Doesn't get any more dramatic than that. Whoever won that heat would make the cut, as we wish Jackson Bunch the best of luck as he heads to the Challenger Series kicking off in Newcastle. Joe Turpel, Jesse Starling, and Richie Lovett here for the Stone and Wood Update Show. Right now, event staff's making plans to shift things over to main break. We'll keep you posted on those times. But Jesse, gosh, there was so much emotion this morning. Some big barrels that went down, some huge wipeouts. My cup is full. We got to run at the slab once again.
Oh, my cup is full too, Joe, and I feel like we've all been itching for this for such a long time now. We've always talked about moving over there, but the conditions just haven't been quite right this morning. Although it was 6 heats, I'm so glad that we got to see the box in full force, and yeah, it's just been a great morning so far.
Richie, it surprises me, and sometimes doesn't surprise me, the ability of these athletes, and some of them who are surfing out there with very little experience and end up finding their way through heats. Connor said it's been a while. He looked brilliant with leaning on his slab experience that he grew up on in Cronulla.
Yeah, absolutely. And, you know, Connor's one of the bigger guys of the tour, yeah, so potentially a really intimidating situation. But as you said, Connor has had a lot of experience around his hometown. Very similar wave, actually. So he performed really good. I think we had 4 goofy footers in the heats that we ran, 2 progressed, so not bad odds for the goofies. But yeah, some amazing barrels this morning, incredible to watch.
Huge ones there, and a big one for Crosby. Remember, he missed the first 2 stops of the season, busting his elbow at pipe in the lead up. And it's all smiles from his big bro, giving him the first high five on the beach.
Pull that yo-yo out, right along. Oh, let's go, Shane. Let's fucking go. Oh, wow. Holy shit. Start taking joy, guys. Going home. You guys. Holy, hey, that was the most stressful 30 minutes.
The support crew for Crosby, first thing Griffin tells him is you're going to lower trestles, and that immediately brings me back to the midseason cut from years ago when Tanner Gudauskas and Nate Yeomans got cut right before their home event at lower trestles, and that was devastating at the time. You know, when you've got your home break on tour, you want to be there. You don't want to see the rest of the tour go on without you. Joao's had to deal with that at the cut when everyone went to Saquarema. He almost didn't even feel comfortable with the wild card. So for Crosby, he's going to have his locker ready to go in the Red Bull Athlete Zone, and he's going to be supported by the hometown crowd in San Clemente.
Oh, we've been talking about it every stop, even along the Aussie Treble, the wild cards and being at your home place, and the story of, you know, Jack Robbo winning here, or if we saw, you know, every year we saw Mick down at Snapper. It is that repetition of we want to see the locals at their spot and they want to be there. So I think Crosby making the cut, talking to Cole the other day, that was a massive driver for him, and I feel like it's the same thing for Crosby and that entire group of San Clemente boys. So bring on trestles.
Well, Griffin was pretty stressed watching his brother surfing for his career on tour, but he set the pace this morning. First heat of the day at the box against Mikey McDonough, and it really was one-sided. Griff had some unbelievable moments in this one.
Yeah, it, pretty much from the first wave, Griff took control of this heat. You can see beautiful tube right there, just gets absolutely spat out. And one of the most remarkable tube rides I think I've ever seen in competition. He got a couple of airdrops as well, just launching out of the lip there. And then he took off on this thing and caught an edge, backdoored it, got his line set. The thing spat to eternity, and then Griffin somehow emerged from the foam. And he even said in the post-hit interview, he was baffled, totally baffled how he actually made that. And that one is one for the ages.
A 9-point ride with a 7. Yep, we'll be watching that replay for a very long time. Look at his face. Pierce Stoke just relying on his ability, where guys like himself, guys like Barron just seem to have more time comboing Mikey McDonough. Mikey had some great heats at main break, made a big dent in this contest. Can't wait to see more of him throughout the Challenger Series, but Colapinto separated himself from the rest, and an unbelievable show at the box.
I think we heard gasps from all around the world this morning when we saw Griffin in the water. That 9, I can't get past it. That was magic. I really don't know how he pulled off that wave. And you even watch him from the side angle, he kind of floats his arms back like, okay, he's out of this. And I wrote him off in my head. And next minute, the spit goes, and then here comes Griffin out of it. I was like, oh.
Yeah, we all wrote him off.
Good morning.
We all just were like, what? We couldn't believe that he emerged out of that foam. And yeah, that was Mikey Madonna's very first surf out of the box as well. So to your point, Joe, just goes to show you, like, the Colapinto brothers, they park it out there. As soon as it's on, any spare moment they you know, hit the box, and it showed today. Experience.
It shows big time. The guys that actually will surf out there, even if there wasn't a contest. That's Griffin. That's Barron Mamiya. Barron Mamiya out there, and he hadn't been out there for a couple of years. He actually tested the waters early this morning. By reputation, you expect Barron to take over, and he certainly did in the heat with Jake Marshall. Two good friends going head to head, and we know Jake's got courage. He's going to go, but you could clearly tell Barron just had that extra sense on where to be at the right time.
This was a heat I was looking forward to all morning just because how great both of these surfers are. Jake got a bit of a scary start, went over the falls, got his heat going, but once Barron locked in, there was no touching him. He was just so in sync with this wave, locked himself in an 8-point ride, got in that excellent score, but look how deep he got on this thing, just so perfectly in the spot, just had this almost magical connection with this wave out there this morning. You expect him to do well in waves like this, and he really rose to the occasion.
And he wanted to surf a smart heat as well. You know, he's riding a magic board that he won pipe on. You want to keep that intact. Louis Egan was like, come on in, come on in. There was about a minute left, and Barron started taking small ones and getting kind of blown up at the end, and Luke's like, okay, you've got this one sewn up, let's move on.
Yeah, absolutely. But you can't stop a surfer from having fun. You're faced with, like, perfect little, you know, nuggety barrels. Of course you're going to want to dig into it, but Barron was, he was on another level of comfort out there compared to everyone else today. Just taking off under the lip, deeper, and he just looked so at home.
I just love when surfers with that skill set like Griff, like Barron in these back-to-back highlight reels get to use it and show it off. It's another level that they're on.
Yeah.
And sometimes it's really obvious in heats at the box, and they're able to showcase it, really elevating the impact of this event in WA. Needing to be ready for everything, from main break to a slab at a moment's notice.
I think it's also a real testament to how good the best surfers in the world are, to be able to surf huge 10 to 15 foot main break yesterday, and then this morning to be able to switch on and be like, okay, big step ups are going away, I'm getting back on my shortboard and I'm going to a really short, sharp slabbing right-hander. So I think it's a real, as I said, testament to how good our athletes are, and they can do it. They can do it on a dime.
Another big heat everyone was looking forward to, especially in WA. Goofy foot Jacob Wilcox, 14th time with a wild card. Last year, rookie on tour, taking on Joao Chianca, who's always ready for a big battle.
Yeah, absolutely. And see Joao here, just a super late one, just airdropping through the barrel, not able to make it out. And this one absolute banger for Jacob Wilcox. And this, the whole point erupted. Everyone was eyes on the screens. Obviously, the local lad getting a ton of support. But man, I was in the locker rooms when these guys were getting ready, and it was so steely. Joao was so focused, and had a quick chat to Matty Bemrose, and he just said, mate, Joao wants this bad. But obviously, the local knowledge there, Jacob Wilcox picking the eyes out of the best ones. Got a couple of sets, and the hometown hero lives on.
His best result here as a wild card and even full-time on tour at Margaret River on his home break. Jacob Wilcox, growing up surfing the box, has a sparring partner named Jack Robinson. It really showed in that one, and things were pretty aggressive at the start, even for just priority. Jacob had his hands up, wanting a blocking call. I wasn't quite expecting that intensity at a slab that's already intense enough, and that was a great heat to watch. The 3s and 2s don't tell the story of how hard Chianca was charging as well.
Oh, absolutely not. And I think, you know, we just spoke about Crosby at lowers. It does really refer to Jacob at Margs, at main break at the box. It is that local story, and Joao was charging. I mean, we just watched the highlights, and there was just split moments that probably would have changed that heat and the storyline we saw, but Jacob, best result he's going to see here at Margs.
Oh, it's great, because after how long it took for him to fully get his spot on tour last year, and how quick that rookie season went for Jacob Wilcox, then he had to get through the trials this time around. It just shows his surfing is in such a great place, and it belongs on the championship tour.
Totally belongs on the championship tour. Couldn't agree more. And I think we'll see a confident and reinvigorated Jacob Wilcox hit the Challenger Series this year. I think Ronnie said it. You know, the edits that he drops from this coast alone are just mind-blowing. You know, the kid is so good, and he's, you know, really resilient as well, to be kind of beaten down for all those years. He didn't make it, and then he got on, and then he got off again. So to bounce back again and, you know, really muscle up, it's credit to him.
This event has been so wild and dramatic with this cut event here. The mid-season cut at stop 7 of the season, as we have some big congratulations being handed out to the crew. It's member top 22 continue on to fight for a world title at Cloud Break. Well, we've got 21 confirmations. As you see, Crosby Colapinto's name added to that big list. Crosby in that do-or-die heat that he just survived against Jackson Bunch. The Cross is now on the glass, hanging out with Von Blakey to celebrate.
Cross, you've done it, brother. You have officially made the cut. How does that feel after a year that at times it must have just felt like you were just getting kicked in the bits constantly, and you've done it, man. You've re-qualified.
Yeah, it's crazy. I mean, out in the water, I had so much emotion coming out of me. I was kind of crying and stuff. But it's just wild. Like, you know, I started the year, broke my elbow, and then went to Portugal, didn't really get a result, and then El Sal got a third. I'm like, all right, I'm right back in this. Like, I can do it. And then came over here and lost in the round of 32 in the first 2 events over here. So I was kind of like, there's a lot of doubt coming into this one, but then just trying to lean into belief and like all the hard work I've done and all the preparation, and I was really inspired by like Seth's story last year of coming in here and kind of doing what I just did. So just kind of coming in here with the belief of doing it, and then also having this opportunity to create a special moment like this right here.
Mate, I know you would have been absolutely charged up to surf the box this morning, but, you know, that was a really tricky heat. The wind kind of shifted a little bit. The end sections were real clampy. How did you keep your wits about you in that one with so much on the line?
Yeah, you know, going out there, I knew like it would be help to make the cut if I made that heat, but I didn't know for sure I'd solidify my spot. So I was honestly feeling pretty free, but I had 2 waves that I was like coming out, and then I just got like clipped at the end and fell forward. So that was really hard because I was like really excited to get a really good barrel out there because everyone was getting sick waves this morning. So, but you know, I'll take it 4 and a 1. Like, I'm happy with that and excited to keep going in this event and, you know, going for the back half of the year in lowers.
That's it, man. You get to surf in front of your home crowd, but you've also unlocked, you know, J-Bay, Chopes, like all these fantastic waves, and maybe even have a run at, you know, a miracle run into the top 5. But it must be so sick and so satisfying to be in this position right now after all that you've faced.
Oh, it's amazing. You know, like, I didn't want to separate from my brother. Like, I loved doing this stuff, and Cole too. Like, it's just so much fun. And I mean, either way, I was kind of accepted the fact if I do go back, it's still amazing. Like, we're still having a fun life. I'm still hanging with great friends. But just to, you know, be heading to J-Bay and Chopes and lowers and so many fun spots, I'm just like so grateful and just really like, I just feel really grateful for this moment right here, this feeling.
Good on you, man. Enjoy it. You've worked so hard to get back from that really devastating injury at the start of the year that kept you out of events that you really wanted to surf. So this is a wonderful result for you. Congrats.
Thank you.
Thanks so much, Vaughn. What a great celebration. And on the other side of it, it's the tough news for this crew that are heading back to the Challenger Series, from Ryan Callanan, who will be competing at home at the first stop at Newcastle, David Silva, Ian Gentile, George Pitar, Sammy Pupo, Ian Govea, Liam O'Brien. Remember, Medina was injured all year. Ramsey Bukiam, Edgard Grajia, and now Jackson Bunch in that heat where it was do or die, and he was swinging, man. First day surfing the box, and he really gave it a big effort. They've got to fight back to get their spot on tour in 2026. They'll be extra motivated as well with that brilliant schedule news that got released. Everything ending at Pipe next year. Not quite a cut anymore. It's about making the postseason to compete for a world title. No elimination round. So much to discuss for next season, but let's really bring it to the last spot. We've got 21 that have made the cut. There's 1 spot left. At the moment, Alejo Muniz is sitting there. He's already out of the event. The one man that could take that spot potentially is Imai Kalani DeVault, who is in the quarters without Cleveland Jr. He has to go on to win the entire event. So if he wins this event, he would then bump out Alejo Muniz, and that's our final scenario for the mid-season cut on the men's side.
I'm not going to lie, I'm invested in this story. I really am. Like, if he can pull this off, this is a career-defining moment for Imai, and just the fact that he looks just so relaxed and looks more like himself than I've seen all year from Imai, and I'm really looking forward to seeing this matchup against Al, because both powerhouses, and we're looking at some pretty fun waves this afternoon, so I'm ready.
Definitely, and now it's switching from the slab idea for Imai and Al, and then before that, Jordy Smith and Marco Migno, as we think about the waves and conditions setting up for main break, Richie. It's still a beautiful day with great conditions. Big thanks to Surfline for all the maps here.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, Surfline has been bang on with their predictions through the week, and we've had just a ton of swell. We've been dining out on it the last couple of days. Obviously, all the elements came together today, and we got our dream session over at the box. But I think we're going to shift our focus back to main break here as we look at what's happening today. We had 10 to 12 foot faces, and every bit of it. And this afternoon, things are going to get interesting, because we're still predicting that this swell is going to rise, and it's going to keep rising overnight too.
You see the size of those face heights there for this afternoon.
Yeah,
looking forward to it.
It's really going to check up, and as you see, the longer range forecasters are 20 there. So we're going to have really big waves tomorrow. We'll come and check it out. We do have an eye on the wind though, because there's some onshore winds coming. There's a little bit of weather coming. We might have to batten down the hatches and just duck and weave until the conditions start to smoothen out a little bit more.
Big thanks to Surfline. It just shows what you have to do to compete these days at WA. It reminds me of the old mobile stories of the events that would happen in Hawaii back in the day, where one round would be held at Big Waimea. Then your next round might be at Pipeline. They've ran at Laniakea in the past, and then maybe finish up at Haleiwa. You know, think about being prepared for everything, and you kind of really think about you'll be the undisputed best in the West on that day, because you've got to conquer every skill set.
Oh, I just feel like these guys have, yeah, like you said, they've had to deal with everything, and to think it definitely, if whoever walks away with the trophy from this event and walks away as the champion, they really would have had to conquer every skill set. I mean, they would have had to surf huge main break. They would have had to surf through the box. And then the pressure of the cut and just trying to survive on tour as well. There's so much going on. Plus the Aussie Treble, there's a tank to give away here as well. There's so much happening at this event right now. So whoever can walk away with a trophy, job well done, because there's been a lot going on this week.
There's been a ton going on. So Jordy Smith and Marco Migno were on the Red Bull skis getting ready for the slab. They're coming into the beach. Big hats off to the whole broadcast team that are moving everything back over to main break. At the moment, it is 12 o'clock local time. Next call will be at 12:45 for a 1 o'clock start at main break. Jordy Smith and Marco Migno on deck. We'll take a break till then, and we'll see you back on the call at 12:45, 45 minutes from now. We'll see you then.